Hedge funds are shorting stocks again, boosting leverage to new record. Yesterday, there's a couple things we talked about when we called out. One of them being Bitcoin selling off, and we got that massive sell-off, now down to 105,000. First things first, I'll stand by that and state that I do still think this weekend we are going to wick down to 102,000, but the next 2 weeks we are going to enter a larger bull market for Bitcoin, reaching a higher top than 113,000. I will stand by that. Another thing I called out was that shorts, I called it out actually in a Twitter post and an X post, that shorts are getting caught in the biggest trap that they have ever been caught in, very similar to 2021. Now, we are going to be talking about AMC, GameStop, and a lot of other squeeze plays. I'm going to give you a few in here that I also gave Discord, so you're going to want to watch until the end of the video. But a lot of people are trying to get their eyes off of GameStop, or get your eyes off of GameStop. And I don't think that is to be the case. In fact, I haven't sold any calls, I haven't sold any shares, and I still think it's the main play. There's no other reason to think otherwise. First things first, a lot of the bearish momentum is dying off as bears are letting go of those puts that they already profited on GameStop. They see less risk, or they see less moves to the downside, less opportunity for profits, and they are starting to close those puts. Another thing I want to point out is this is XRT's fails to deliver over on Chart Exchange. If you look, these are from April 30th, and it comes to a notional value of $82,705,000. Now, cumulatively, or even a single day, it doesn't matter which way you think it is. This is huge because the T plus 35 comes out to June 4th. Probably, give or take, adding a C plus 2 still comes to the same week on that Friday, which is June 6th. I think June is going to be, out of all the catalysts that we see, the magical month for GameStop, the squeeze month for GameStop. And that is why I still stand by that this is the main play. However, what did we see in the short term? We've seen something very bearish. We've seen us get slammed down. I assume we're going to see a lot of FTDs for this given time frame right here. Actually, for this huge spike up to 37, I guarantee you that, in my opinion, we're going to see a lot of failed to deliver here. But we got smacked down, and then we also broke below what I call the bearish level at 29.99. Okay, now we wicked super low down to 27.82. We came back up today above this bearish level, but we couldn't hold it. However, what we did recapture is this ascending parallel channel that you see right here that we did break under one time. And actually, when we broke back in, we got super, super bullish after that. Okay, so we are looking bad. We did leave a lot of profits on the table, but that is only temporary in my opinion, as I do still see June as a very, very, very good month. I also don't think that they have a lot of time to scare you out of your positions. In fact, I think Friday to Monday is the only chance that they actually have to do so, based on fails to deliver with XRT as well as GMEU, recycling periods, rebalancing periods, OPEX periods, their earnings coming up, right? We have too much stuff here to be short GameStop, okay? I will leave that there. As far as the weekly goes, we got a very hard relief on the RSI. We also got a very, very hard rejection. Anytime we leave this box, we leave this zone, they really slam it down. And we were expecting that, but we weren't expecting it this badly, as we got a major green candle. And then we on the weekly as well as the daily, we got huge green candles with no super long upper wicks, showing no extreme sell pressure up here. This is the strongest time, at least in a while, that we broke above 32.50. You can see even during the May push, we had a huge wick out of here during the weekly. You can see that during the November push, we had a huge wick. During the December pushes, both of them, these were wicks. This is the only time we scaled into it and we didn't get a nasty wick. We got one a little bit higher, given that we ran up to $37, right? We got one a little bit higher, but this shows extreme strength, especially on the weekly. AMC's painting out a beautiful picture. I think we see moves tonight coming into Monday because it has not traded at all off track, even though GameStop has traded slightly off track. For example, right, we should have seen it be walked down here and then into a rip, but instead they slammed it and we could possibly rip from here. AMC didn't get off track at all. In fact, it just traded in this exact flag that we had, and I think we're due for a move on AMC. Where is that move going to take us? Well, the initial move above $5 to $7.50, I think somewhere in this region up here is where AMC is going to be next week. So that is what I'll call for. Again, nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Unity has a short interest of 9%. It's up 13%. It was up 17%. This one's popping off. People are still calling it out as Roaring Kitties play. But a lot of these baskets move together. GameStop, Unity, Chewy, Koss, BlackBerry. We're going to watch all of these. I do have a small position in Unity now, but I do want to state, if Unity does skyrocket, I will be exiting at $42. That is my price target if we do end up squeezing. Chewy is also something obviously to keep an eye on. Koss is something to keep an eye on. Got rejected at the 200. We could be over from here, but I wouldn't like to see that because Koss and GameStop trade hand in hand as well. BlackBerry, keep an eye on this. I believe we are still in the 2021 sequence that we see back here. It looks very similar setup. Another one I want to give you is BBAI. It's up 9%. I gave it to Discord earlier. This has a 21% short interest almost, and it's gaining momentum on the daily as well as the weekly. And people are starting to put their eyes on it and FOMO in. Quantum, QNTM, they actually just sent out a letter to FINRA and the SEC regarding naked short selling and manipulation of their stock. Will the SEC do anything? Probably not, but it's up 10% on that news, trading at $13.85. Normally after the fact, these stocks come crashing down just like GNS because the SEC isn't going to do shit about it. And short sellers love to take advantage of the FOMO that retail traders do. They jump in and then they get it slammed back down. So just be wary, have tight stops, possibly, right? That's what I'm doing. RKT is one that has not moved yet, but this one has a 51% short interest. And I think when it moves, it's going to pop off. And since we are in that time for squeeze season where shorts are over leveraged, keep this one on your radar. Keep an eye on it. Trump Media officially signed the $2.32 billion deal to buy Bitcoin and hold it as a treasury asset. DJT's up only 4.7%. I think this one has a higher move in it as well to $33 plus. So these are all the squeeze plays that I want you to pay attention to and watch going forward. Now, April PCE inflation came out, the Fed's preferred inflation measure, falling to 2.1% below expectations of 2.2. Core PCE fell to 2.5 in line with expectations, and then PCE inflation is now at its lowest level since September of 2024, so all eyes are on the Fed. If we get an early rate cut, possibly June, markets are going to pump, short sellers are going to get ripped out of their positions, and we are going to see the largest squeezes we've ever seen. But even if that doesn't happen, we are still likely to see some things start to happen. Now, President Trump also said China has violated its tariff agreement with the U.S., which brings us into the SPY, the S&P 500. Put very simply, we're not holding up. We're holding up just positive on the year. Monday, my expectation, gap down. You're going to open below 580, and then you're going to make your way down to 570.250. That is what I think for next week on the SPY as we see things start to squeeze. If I'm wrong, then I'm probably just a week early. Nvidia, we lost its steam, we lost its momentum, and now I no longer believe that my target is going to get hit if we close under 134.60. If we close above 134.60, it's still possibly on the table, but be careful with this one if you are still in it. If you have, less than a 50% loss, then just, take your own risk on, do your own due diligence and risk right here, right? Just be careful. As it loses momentum and gains volume on the downside, it gets less and less likely that is going to get hit, especially if the SPY is going to get dragged down. It needs some things to pull it down with it, Nvidia being one of those largest companies here. I am red on this trade. I just want to bring it to your attention right now. Still green on the day, but I do want to state that this is the second link in the description if you guys want to trade futures. It is a very easy platform to trade on. It uses TradingView charts, and you can get 50% off a funded account using code LOTTO at checkout. So check that link. And then the top link in the description is for my Discord server, where you can come talk stocks and crypto with the most amazing people all day long. See my trades as soon as I take them. Yeah, come chat over the weekend. Level yourself up, guys. We are getting new members in there. Overall, best vibes, best family in there. You will not regret it. Check all the links, get us to 33,000 subs. We are right there. And let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Did you let go of your GameStop, or are you not worried about it? Because I believe the month of June is going to be a very, very important month. In fact, an important month that they can't really control for several different reasons. And yeah, I am still in my position. In fact, I'm debating on grabbing more. But that is it, guys. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Stocks out.